Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Obviously, with the open beta of Enlisted coming out on the 8th of April, we have a bunch of news which is coming along with that. Now, hopefully over this week, we find out a little bit more about the battle tasks idea that they're doing, which sounds very similar to the challenges from the battle pass in War Thunder, and also, hopefully, we learn a little bit more about the battle pass that they're doing as well. There also seems to be a few things in the files indicating maybe another set of Twitch drops. My guess is it'll probably happen on the weekend after the 8th, so look forward to that. I'll make sure to keep you guys informed when it comes to this. I'm actually really looking forward to the OBT of Enlisted. It's a game that I've followed for a decent amount of time now, and as a game where I get to turn my brain off and just, play an FPS without too many sweaties, let's put it. I think for me personally, I'm looking forward to it. Now, there has been a ton of news, obviously, with the announcement. They're going to be adding in a ton of different stuff. So the first thing is they're going to be adding the Browning M1918A2 machine gun and also the Paratrooper FG42-2 assault rifle to the Normandy campaign. So a little bit of love for the automatic machine gun for the Germans and also for the Americans. Already in Enlisted, the fact that automatic weapons are incredibly powerful compared to bolt-action rifles, and my guess is it's just going to get even more crazy, especially with these certain plans coming. So a little bit of machine gunner squad stuff there, which should be really fun for both sides. They're also adding the American P38J to the game, and generally when it comes to Enlisted, I don't think they're going to get any unique vehicles that don't come to War Thunder or aren't already in War Thunder, so it may be worth having a look at them and thinking, oh, okay, so if this game has this, maybe the other game will get it at some point. The P38J is a pretty cool machine. The P38, one of the P38 variants is already Enlisted in the Invasion of Normandy campaign, so the fact that they're getting another one is kind of interesting. I thought they'd maybe go for something else, but it still should be very nice. They're also adding the German Panzer IV-H, so that will have obviously the increased spaced armor. That should be incredibly good against some of the infantry weapons, and the tanks already are pretty good. There are counters to them in the game, but a lot of the counters are a bit rough to use. So we'll have to see how dominant the vehicles are on the battlefield. Already when it comes to the planes, people have figured out where the spawns are. People have figured out how to kill massive amounts of infantry very, very quickly. And hopefully, with the tanks, they won't just be kill lines with them to annihilate everything around. In the Battle of Moscow campaign as well, they're getting some stuff too. So they're adding in the DP-27 machine gun for the Soviets and also the SVT-40 sniper rifles. That should be really fun. The SVT is a set of weaponry that I've personally really enjoyed for a long time, and they're also adding in for the Germans the Gewehr 98 with a scope mount. So basically the other side of the equation for the Germans, giving the snipers not just a single bolt action gun, but something with a little bit more, not necessarily firepower, but just a faster fire rate, so you can pick off a squad pretty quickly. With the fact that they've changed around a lot of squads, they have either like 6, 7, 8, or 9 members of them. Bolt action rifles are not exactly the best, because unless you headshot something, you're going to have to shoot them twice already, because the majority of people run med packs on their guys, so they go down, then they get to heal. So let's say you're facing a 9-man squad, well, you're going to have to shoot them, if you don't headshot them 18 times, which with something like a bolt action is going to take you a hell of a long time, whereas with something like an SVT or a Gewehr, it's going to take you a lot less, and with a sniper scope as well, it's going to be really nice to have. They're also adding in the PZB-39 anti-material gun, so that'll be the anti-tank gun which is used on the ground. The anti-tank rifles that I've used so far haven't been great when it comes to Enlisted. Not too much of a punching power. I feel like other ways of dealing with the vehicles on the ground work better, such as the explosive stuff and also other tanks. They're also adding in the SB-2M as a bomber. That is once again a vehicle already in War Thunder with quite surprisingly a large bomb load. So I'm a bit worried about that one. They're also adding the Ju-87R in there as well, so another Stuka alongside the other Stuka that already exists, which is pretty awesome. So they're putting in a bunch of new content. I'm sure they'll probably put in a bunch of different squads as well. The question is, as I said, when it comes to the battle pass and when it comes to being able to get this stuff, how will you be able to do it? Because they've already said that they're reworking, rewards, battle tasks, the progress and logistics for soldiers and the general squad system as well. So hopefully over the next few days we get a little bit of an inkling into it so we can see what's going on. Remember that also after the 8th of April, you will not be able to buy the Founders Packs when it comes to Enlisted. So if you are interested in them, make sure to pick them up now because they will be going away very soon from this point. They're also adding landmines to the game, which is a very interesting move, and they're going to have anti-tank and also anti-personnel landmines, which are being added to Enlisted. And these won't just be available for engineers, probably because the engineer class is already incredibly strong in the game when it comes to what it's able to create, and you can get them through logistic orders the same ways as other weapons, so there's no change there. It's just like the explosive packs or the grenades. It would be nice if there was a separate logistics order so you would be able to get, let's call it, secondary munitions. So instead of just guns, you could get access to med packs, grenades, landmines, stuff like that. Because right now, trying to get stuff such as medikits or, explosive charges can be quite hard to do because you end up just getting a ton of different guns. The mines will be carried in inventory slots, just like medkits or repair kits, so you'll have to choose between taking some of them or taking maybe something which is a little bit more valuable, depending on how you see it. Now, also remember, when it comes to the inventory management system, that is changing when the game goes into OBT in quite a big way. The landmine's efficiency is also going to be directly dependent on how cleverly you locate them. Since the battlefield of Enlisted is incredibly dynamic, you won't just be able to cover the map in them all over the place and then just let the enemy kind of come in. Now, I kind of agree with the Enlisted guys on this, apart from one thing. There is a bunch of assault maps, so where one team is defending and one team is attacking, and what a lot of the times you do on these defensive maps, especially on specific points, is while half your team is defending the first point and just kind of stalling the enemy, the other half of the team has a bunch of engineers and they actually fortify the second point, so therefore it's very hard to push forward. I feel like the guys who are going to deal with the landmines, what they're going to do is they're not going to get involved in the fight. They're going to sit back with their squad and then plant them all over the place in a defense, and it's just going to be a mess. The other thing to also, count on is the two things that are either going to kill or make these mines really fun is if they do team damage or if they are visible on the map. So when it comes to the sea mines in War Thunder, the sea mines are actually quite easy to see, and also you have a audio cue telling you the sea mine is there. Basically a guy screaming in your ear, "Mine, mine, mine," and he just does it over and over and over again, so you're not going to miss it. It's kind of as simple as that. But in Enlisted, if your mines cannot kill your own team, then it's going to be incredibly annoying as an enemy team, because these guys are just going to plant them all over the place unless there is a limit to them, especially in a defensive mission. If they can kill your team, then people are going to have to be a little bit more strategic on where they put them, and also they have to be incredibly visually obvious to your teammates where they are, so you don't, explode them. Also, how is stuff like AI going to interact with these mines? Are they going to know that they're there? Are they going to walk around them? We're gonna have to see that, when the game comes out into OBT. And the other factor is people, if they do team damage, are gonna troll with them. So, people will put landmines in front of tank spawns, for example, or they'll put mines along ways that infantry normally run to get to points, or just in the spawn, they're just going to explode on people. So this mechanic is really cool, but it also has a ton of downsides, which I hope are being thought about. I really hope it works really well. I really hope to see it, but at the same time, there's a lot of considerations that have to be made when it comes to this mechanic, and I'm hoping they are thinking about them. Just like with the engineering class right now being incredibly strong, you don't want something like mines being incredibly strong as well, since in the assault game mode, where, one team is attacking and one team is defending, the defense has got a massive advantage over the offensive side in many areas, and this just adds another string to their bow. So we'll have to see how it goes. I'm definitely interested to see it, and if there's any more Enlisted news, I'll make sure to let you know about it. As always, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Conte Baraka, Trigger Hippie, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Hosest Kishot, Hans, Bareen, and Samuel Schlick for supporting the channel.